Okay. So, good afternoon. Happy Friday. Um, and it's funny, last week, I think it was Jen said to me that it was National Kindness Day, and we were joking about how it shouldn't every day be National Kindness Day, right? And so I decided that I am going to name this coming week National Give Yourself and Everybody Else a Break Week. All right, so that's what it is. National Give Yourself and Everybody Else a Break Week for the next 7 days and hopefully beyond. What if we made our joint intention to give everybody we come across a break, to assume the best in everybody, and to do the same thing about ourselves, to not beat anybody up, to assume that everybody's intentions are good. Sounds exciting, right? And then when you stop and really think about it, it can be really hard, right? But why not give it a try, right? Why not assume the best about everybody? So I came across this quote. Where are you? There you are. From Don Miguel Ruiz from his book, The Four Agreements. I'm sure some of you have heard of it. It's an awesome short read that I love. But when he talks about making assumptions, he says this. He says, it's very interesting how the human mind works. We have the need to justify everything, to explain and understand everything in order to feel safe. We have millions of questions that need answers because there are so many things that the reasoning mind cannot explain. It's not important if the answer is correct. Just the answer itself makes us safe. That's why we make assumptions. So we make assumptions to feel safe. And, we make assumptions about ourselves and about other people all the time, like every day. I should have done this, or I should have done that, or that person is rude, or, and so like an example is, driving down the highway. For me, that's the hardest. When I'm driving, I'll find myself thinking things if I pay attention, like, oh my God, this guy is such a jerk. Oh my God, I can't believe this person is driving like this. Now, I'm sure that people in other cars probably have thought the same thing about me at some point, right? So assuming that the guy who just cut you off, maybe he is, not paying attention because he's grieving something so deeply, or maybe he's on the way to the hospital. Changing our assumptions, because we're not going to stop assuming, right? That's what humans do. I just read it. But we can change the nature of the story that we tell ourselves. We can make the assumptions good assumptions, right? Assume that however you handle the situation in your life, you handled it exactly how you were supposed to, right? Assume that if you just spent the entire beautiful sunny morning hanging out on the couch because you were tired, assume that that's what your body needed, right? Don't assume that you were just being lazy and you need something to make you more energized. So little things like that, little everyday things, and then take that energy and bring it to the bigger things, right? The bigger things. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about assumptions and about the idea of approaching ourselves and other people with the energy of grace and mercy as we move through our practice today. So close your eyes, bring your palms together, and let your thumbs touch your sternum, that space right at the bottom of your breastbone. Just pause here. Notice your seat. Make sure you have a nice, comfortable foundation. And if you don't, adjust yourself a little bit. And take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And we're going to open with the chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo. If you're not familiar, please join with your ears. And if you are, please join with your voice. Inhale deeply. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Pause and feel. Feel any stress or tension in your body settling down as the energy of that internal wisdom rises up, the vibration of this chant. Internal wisdom connecting to external wisdom, the knowing that everything is perfect as it is right now. Let everything that pulls you out of this moment fall away. Keeping your hands where they are, keeping your eyes closed. Inhale deeply. Pull the pelvic floor, the navel center up. Hold. And exhale. And we're going to move into our next chant, Ad Gare Name. Most of you know it, but I'm going to go over it. It's a celestial communication chant, so there's some movement. It's Ad Gare Name, hands at the heart. Jugad Gare Name, third eye. Sat Gare Name, opening your heart. And then Siri Gurudeve Name, bringing the prayer back down to your own heart. We'll do that together 3 times. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Ad Gare Name, Jugad Gare Name, Sat Gare Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Pause and feel. Feel the gentleness, this chant, the warm blanket moving through every cell of your body, coating you with protection from those assumptions, from those judgments of ourselves and others. Protection from anything that takes you out of your peace. Then inhaling deeply, bring that prayer up overhead. Again, navel center, pelvic floor squeezes up. Let your eyes roll up towards your third eye with your eyes closed. Hold the breath, reach up toward the sun. And then as you exhale, let your arms slowly float wide and around. Extending that energy of peace into your auric field. And then touching the earth with gratitude for the grace and mercy of Mother Earth. Always holding us in the highest esteem, even when we don't do that for ourselves. Holding us in the arms of love. And then opening your eyes. We're going to do a little bit of breath work before we move. So I want you to take your hands, place them on your knees, palms up, and then close all your other fingers and just extend your pointer fingers, your Jupiter fingers. So they're going to be resting on your knees with just the Jupiter fingers extended. You're going to take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale completely. Raise your right pointer finger to the side, right side of your nostril. Inhale through your left. Nice, long and deep. Hold it in as you let your right hand float back down. Float your left hand up, closing off your left nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. Hold as your left hand comes down. Your right comes up. Closing off the right. Exhaling through the left. Inhaling through the left. And continuing with that pattern, right hand floats down, left comes up. And just keep going. Eyes closed. Look at a nice slow pace. You want that retention of breath to be a nice little long retention there. Starting to connect to the internal rhythm of your body. The more that we connect to the rhythm of our body, the rhythm of our thoughts, the rhythm of our reactions, the easier it is to pause and notice when we're about to make an assumption, when we're about to make a judgment, when we're about to not give ourselves or someone else a break. Because we do so much in our lives automatically, right? We have such busy lives and everything is on autopilot all the time. So the more that you slow down, you start to connect to those internal rhythms, the easier it is to catch yourself and stop and say, am I acting consciously? Are my actions about to be in line with my desires? Because who wants to beat themselves up? Nobody. And who wants to beat other people up? Nobody. It's not a matter of desire, right? It's usually a matter of fear or a matter of being so darn tired or so darn sad. So we slow down and we connect, and our actions begin to reflect our desires. Our words begin to reflect our desires. And they also begin to reflect the truth of who we are. Because at our core, and I know this, I don't just believe this, I know this, at our core, each of us is kind and compassionate and loving and confident. And each of us knows our own true value and the true value of those people around us. I know that that's true. And then it's all the other stuff that gets in the way, right? So give yourself a break. Can you imagine if the entire world, there really was a day, a week, that everybody did that, right? What a shift there would be in energy. And how nice would it be to make a mistake and not get beat up for it by yourself or somebody else? Because I don't know about you, but I make mistakes all the time, right? And I've learned to laugh. I used to take myself so seriously. Nothing's that serious. This whole life and death thing, we'll never understand any of it, really, right? So we may as well dive in deeply with our hearts. The next time that you exhale, let both hands rest on your knees, palms up, eyes still closed. So yeah, take a deep inhale through both nostrils. Exhale completely. And then just pause and feel. And I want you to see if you can connect to the energy around you. So this week, I know Jen saw it because she sent a text about the beautiful moon the other day, right? The moon is in this waxing crescent phase. And the waxing crescent phase is when it's no longer dark, but it's just these slivers of light that are growing into something so beautiful. So it's a beautiful time to set an intention. So with your palms facing up and your body right now so connected to its own rhythm, your mind connected to its own rhythm, stop and set an intention for this coming month, this coming moon cycle. What would you like to see manifest in your world? More of what? More compassion, more love, maybe something material, maybe a shift in a situation. Hold that for a moment. Imagine that resting in your palms and feel that full moon energy that's there, even when the sun is out and we can't see the moon. That energy is there. Feel that energy radiating into your palms, growing your intention. Take one more deep inhale. Really hold that breath in. Circulate. Get so big. Feel yourself expanding beyond your skin. And then exhale completely. Just bring your palms flat against your chest, one over the other. And just tuck that intention into your heart for safekeeping as it grows bigger and bigger. As the moon gets bigger and bigger, this moon cycle. And then opening your eyes. Come on to all fours. And once you get there, just wiggle your hips around a bit. And then tuck your toes. Raise your hips up to the sky, come into downward dog. And just take one nice stretch in downward dog, whatever that means to you. And then slowly walk your feet towards your hands. You can bend your knees, make it a nice, comfortable walk. And then with your knees still bent, grab opposite elbows and let your body sway from side to side. Just a slight bend to protect that back. And then bending your knees a lot, bring your arms forward and slowly rise all the way up to stand. And once you get there, inhale your palms overhead. Bring them together in prayer. Bring that prayer to your heart. Close your eyes. And once again, visit that intention. Take a deep breath. And then as your hands drop to your sides, begin to just kind of dance around, bounce around, move your body on your mat. Intuitively, anything that feels good. Stretch and move and shake and every part of your body, get it all involved. You guys look magnificent. Dancing to your own internal rhythm. Hear your own internal music. Music of you. You guys are awesome. And come to stillness. And then bring your feet a little bit more than hips distance apart. Make them a little wide. Place your hands on your hips or let them hang at your sides, resting against your thighs. Bring your attention to your chin. Drop your chin to your chest. And then slowly begin to make circles with your head. But don't drop back too far. When you go back, just kind of pass through the back without dropping your head back, coming to the other side. Nice, gentle circles, eyes closed. And at any time as we're moving through the series of standing poses that we're going to do, if you feel like swaying or moving your body in any way, go for it, do it. So one way to really begin to give yourself a break is to notice what your day looks like. Next time your chin comes to your chest, pause, move in the other direction. Do you have too much piled on your plate? Is there no room for you to pause and breathe? You know, is there no room for you to give yourself a break in the physical sense? Right? Because when we're going, and we feel stressed and overwhelmed, it's really hard not to be mean to ourselves. And sometimes mean doesn't sound like, oh, you're a jerk. Mean might sound like, oh my God, you have no energy. You're getting old. Your body doesn't work. That's mean. That's not true. Come to stillness next time your chin touches that chest. And then slowly begin to inhale your chin up toward the sky, let your head just hang. And stay there just for a count of 2 or 3. Just take a nice long breath, counting to 2 or 3. And then as you exhale, slowly let your chin move back towards your chest. And when you get there again, take that inhale to a count of 2 or 3 before you begin to move again. Just keep going. And as far as other people go, if we can just remember that every one of us has a cross to bear. Every one of us has a story or a sadness. And every one of us has a lot of joy too. And such a plethora of experiences, different experiences. So we never know really what somebody else means or intends. Right? We never know what the root of somebody's actions or reactions are. We just make assumptions about those based upon what ours would be in the same situation. But we don't know. We don't know what that person's been through. Next time that your chin touches your chest, pause for a moment and then come back to center. And let your arms, if they're on your hips, let them come down to your sides. And begin to bring your left ear to your left shoulder, and then drop your right shoulder down. Let your hand move down toward the floor so there's a really nice stretch in that whole right shoulder. Breathe into that stretch. The more that we stretch, we let those fluids that move through our bodies, there's this lactic acid that releases when we stretch those joints. That begins to help our body restore and heal. And slowly bring your shoulder up as your head comes to center. Move to the other side. Right ear to right shoulder, left shoulder moving down. Pause and breathe into it. How do we change our perspective on things? How do we begin to realize that we're fine just the way we are, that everybody makes mistakes? We hold ourselves to this place where we believe that on some level we're all such sinners. We're all so bad on some level. We all do things that are whatever, right? We have these beliefs in our mind. Inhale back to center. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale deeply, completely. And then bend your knees slightly. Your feet are still more than hip distance apart. And you're going to begin really big shoulder shrugs. So bring your shoulders forward and back with your knees bent, and let your arms move too. Really nice, big, deep shoulder shrugs, shoulder circles. So I was listening to a podcast, and he was talking about the Course in Miracles. And he said that Course in Miracles defines sin as self-inflicted nonsense, right? These judgments of ourselves. We think we're all sinners. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does things that they regret. For some reason, most of us, not everybody, we hold on to those things so much more than we hold on to the zillions of amazing things we do every day. Right? One thing goes wrong, and that's the spotlight of the day for most of us. Not everybody. Pause the next time that your shoulders come down. Take a deep breath in and out, and then begin those big circles in the opposite direction. Moving the energy. And even our mind, like I say all the time, oh gosh, this mind of mine. But this mind of mine serves me pretty well. It holds a whole bunch of really beautiful memories. Right? It allows me to interact with some pretty amazing people. So this mind of mine is like an errant child often, but it's also a very, very sweet part of me. It's all about how I how I interact with it, how I nurture my relationship with it. Let yourself come back to center. Stand straight. Move those feet a little closer together now. Let your right hand stay at your right side. Inhale your left arm overhead. And then imagine somebody reaching up from the ground, pulling on that right hand, pulling you down into a little bit more of a stretch. Breathe here. Look up at the hand that's up in the air. And then bring your head back to center. Let your left arm come down. Your right arm come over. And the same thing, imagine somebody reaching up, Mother Earth reaching up, touching your fingers and just gently pulling you a little deeper. Look up. Back to center. Come on down and do that a few more times at your own pace, leaving that little pause there. Letting our practice remind us how important it is to pause and consciously do what we do. So I was reading a little blurb about assumptions, and this woman was talking about a friend of hers who had moved away. And he had reached out and they talked, and he said he was coming to the New York area in a couple of months. And she was excited. She said, definitely let me know. We'll get together. And a few months passed. Next time you come to center, stay there, eyes closed. Pausing and feeling. And then take your left arm and reach your left arm across so that your left hand is right in front of your right shoulder. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, pull over to the right, look over to the left, and just hold. Take a few breaths here. This should feel like a nice stretch. And then release and move to the other side. The right arm comes toward the left shoulder, left hand grabs the right wrist, pull to the left, look to the right. Pause for a full breath and do that a few more times at your own pace. So a few months passed, she hadn't heard from him. And then she happened to go onto Facebook, which she doesn't do often. And she saw a post from him saying that he'd been on the East Coast and that all of his friends, none of them reached out to him. He posted it on Facebook. Nobody reached out to him. And, you know, everybody's forgotten about him. This big post about how nobody cares. Next time that you come to the second side, which is moving toward the left, finish that side and then let your hands drop to your sides. And just begin to sway from side to side, letting your hands gently tap your kidneys, your belly. So this man had made an assumption that number one, everybody checks their Facebook all the time. Number two, that all of his friends saw his Facebook post. Number three, they chose to ignore it and the fact that he was here. And then when he didn't hear from anybody, he just also assumed that nobody cared about him. Right? He made a lot of assumptions in that post and he caused a lot of pain for himself. How often do we do something like that in our own lives in different ways? Something to kind of chew over, think about. As you come back to center, bring your hands to your sacrum, interlace your fingers. Pull your hands down toward the floor as you open your heart to the sky. Look up, really feel that opening, like you're letting the entire universe into your heart. Letting everybody get a shot of what's in your heart, your vulnerabilities, your love, your compassion, everything. Giving it to the entire world. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, begin to relax your shoulders, keeping your hands interlaced, fold forward, letting your hands come up and over any amount. And then release your hands to the mat. Bend your knees enough so you can really plant those palms on the mat. And then start to bend one knee deeply and then the other, moving your hips around, getting movement any way you can here. Letting your body move intuitively like you did when we were standing and dancing. Finding the rhythm of your soul. And then as you come to stillness, plant your right hand right in the middle of the mat. Inhale your left arm up to the sky, a little bit of a twist. Exhale down, plant. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale down. Hands planted on the mat, step one foot back, and then the other. Take a little stretch in downward dog. And then let your knees land on the mat gently. And once they do, you'll bring them nice and wide, toes together. Sit back and melt into child's pose. And so what she did was, instead of being angry at him for making all those assumptions, because that's what she wanted to do, but instead of being angry at him, she stopped and looked at it from his point of view and realized how hurt his heart must be. And so she reached out to him and they talked about this stuff. But she didn't just make him the bad guy, she showed him some grace. And there's something called the law of grace. And what the law of grace is simply being love and feeling love. So allowing your mind to think in very loving ways, to act, to feed your actions in very loving ways, and to allow yourself to feel love, to not assume that people are doing things that are hurtful to you, to assume that there is some kind of love there and find it, seek it out, right? So assuming love, be love, feel love, the laws of grace. Who couldn't use more grace in their life? Who couldn't use more mercy in their life? Right? Mercy, the act of looking past what someone's done. It's beyond forgiveness. It's like it doesn't even matter because you're who you are. You're pure good. Long, deep breaths, even into that back body. Right? We reap what we sow. So what do we want to sow in this world? Long, deep breaths. And then slowly begin to make your way onto your belly. And once you get there, make a pillow for your head. Let your head rest on your hands. And just begin to stretch your right foot back and up off the mat, any amount. Stretching it up. And then lowering it slowly. And then bringing the left up. Straight legs, no bend in the knees. Yeah, you guys look good. And do that a few more times on each side. And then as you allow your legs to rest on the mat, come up into Sphinx pose, bringing your forearms onto the mat, fingertips pointing straight ahead. And do a few cat-cow motions here, just bringing your heart through your hands and back. It's going to be a very subtle motion here. And the next time you look up, just shine your heart forward. Let your hands pull back on the mat so your elbows come back a little bit, and let your heart come right through. Look up, shoulder blades together, and then relax back down, making that pillow, resting your forehead. A deep breath in, a deep breath out. And think about the energy of grace, of just receiving what might feel like forgiveness or pardon. Just because you are who you are, and that's why you deserve it, because you're you, and that's it. The act of that, it trumps karma. If you can offer somebody grace, if you find yourself in a situation that you've been in time and time again, and you start to react the way you have time and time again, and instead you stop and you offer grace to the person in front of you instead of wrath, that can burn so much karma. From here, you're going to raise your right foot up, bending your right knee, and reach back with your right hand for your right ankle. Little thigh stretch here. Beautiful. And release. Other side. Release. Bring your hands to your sacrum. And then begin to pull back on those hands, bringing them towards your toes, lifting your head, your shoulders, your chest, and then lifting your feet off the mat if you'd like, or stay right where you are. Beautiful. Relax down. One more time, making that pillow. And then bring your hands onto the mat, right by your shoulders, and slowly press yourself up until you find yourself in a seated position. And we're going to do a Kundalini meditation. We did it in the Kundalini class the other day, so some of you guys have done it already, but I love it. It's a meditation for magnificence. It's to realize your own magnificence. I think it's a fun meditation. And it's also, the chant is Gobinde Mukandi Udare Apari Hariyang Kariyang Nirname Akame. And each word is preceded by 4 hars. So it's had, 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 had first. And I'm going to play it for you. But what that is, it's the 8 aspects of the divine. And it's a reflection of all that we are, every one of us. You know, it's an expression of our fullness, of our ability to be anything, anytime. All we have to do is tap into that and choose. So it's about our magnificence, but it's also about our prosperity. It reminds us that there is enough for you to have it all and for everybody else to have it all. It takes away the energy of the need for competition or comparison, because there's just enough for everybody. So much power in what we're about to do, something so simple. You're going to hold your hands up like this. Your elbows can rest against your ribs so your arms are not going to get tired. You're going to close your hands into fists, but the thumbs are extended. And then you can close the thumbs over the other hands. And on each had, every time you hear had, 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 your hands are going to explode like stars. And you're going to pump your navel. So it's had, 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 and then go binde, you're going to rest. Had, 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 mukande, and you're going to rest. And it's going to go on through each of the different aspects. I'm going to play a chant, which doesn't move very quickly, so it's good, make it nice and easeful. And I'm going to be quiet because I know it's hard to hear me when I'm playing the music. So we'll do this for about 5 minutes. So relax, enjoy, close your eyes, and I am going to get the music going, maybe. Yep.
Hi,
Take a deep inhale. Hold the pelvic floor, navel center up. Stretch those fingers really wide. Tense everything. Hold that breath. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keeping your hands where they are. Exhale, relax. Exhale completely. Navel all the way back to the spine as you press all the air out. Inhale completely. Fill everything. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Tense, tense, tense. And then exhale, eyes closed, hands to your knees. Pause in silence and feel. And then as you open your eyes, stretch your legs out straight in front of you. Just take your hands and tap along the outsides of your legs all the way up and down. And then the insides. And inhale your arms all the way up, straight up. Fingers spread wide. Turn your body to the right. Let your right hand come down to your left leg. I'm sorry, other way. Turn to the right. Let your left arm come down to your right leg. Right arm up to the sky. Yep, sorry about that. So your little twist, the right arm is up in the sky. Left arm is down the leg. Inhale back up. Twist to the left. Right arm comes down the left leg, left arm up to the sky. And then do that a few more times. I always get in trouble with my left and right, but I think I'm going to give myself a break. And after your next twist toward that left leg, reach up to center. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let your arms come down towards your toes, any amount, and then immediately pull those arms back up. Move back as if you were going to lay down, but don't. Bring your arms up overhead and continue that way, reaching towards your toes, really engaging that core. And just moving. Maybe imagine as you move, pulling the energy and just pouring it over you. Oh, that beautiful energy that exists around you, the moon energy and the sun energy, and the energy of your own magnificence, the energy of grace and mercy, the energy of the acknowledgement that when we beat ourselves up and we think we've sinned and we've done something that's unforgivable, that's self-inflicted nonsense. Call yourself human and move on. Next time you reach up, stay up, palms together, down to your heart. Bend your right knee, bring the sole of your right foot into your left thigh. Inhale your arms up. Exhale down over your extended leg, any amount. Place one hand on the outside and the inside of the ankle, so along the sides of the, as if you're in your inseams. And then drag your hand up, 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 up as you come up. Reach up, dive down. Plant your hands. So you're giving yourself a little massage as you move up that leg. Rise up, move back down. Connecting your breath. Another byproduct of making assumptions is that it triggers those things in us that make us feel left out or unacknowledged or maybe not appreciated or whatever your trigger is, right? We make assumptions for some reason. We're programmed to assume things that are going to feed those things if we're not acting consciously. The next time you reach up, stay up, palms together, down to your heart. Extend the left leg. Bring the left leg, you know what I mean. There I go again. Switch sides. All right. And inhale up, exhale down over your extended leg. Pause for a moment, plant those hands on either side. Begin your dance, begin your journey. Moving up and down. So if we become aware of our mind's automatic reactions, if we assume that somebody meant something in a certain way, and we can pause and ask, how else could they have meant that? Or maybe they didn't realize it at all. They did something that felt like a slight. If we can talk these things out in our minds, and if that doesn't work, if we could talk things out with a friend, if we get different perspectives, then it becomes easier and easier to see where we hold ourselves hostage to our past beliefs, to our past experiences, and where we hold other people hostage to that as well. Right? Those triggers. And this time, as you float back down, stay there. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come back up. Bring the soles of both feet together, moving into Baddha Konasana for a moment. Take a hold of your toes. Let your knees move up and down. Like a butterfly ready to take flight. And then as you come to stillness, place your hands behind you on the floor. Spread your legs, bring your legs straight out, and slowly lower yourself onto your back. Once you get there, bring your knees into your chest. Gently rock from side to side. And then let your arms fall out to a T, coming into spinal twist in either direction, whatever feels good to you. Knees in one direction, gaze to the other. Pause on each side for a full breath, and then move to the other. A little bit of a flowing spinal twist here. And then come to center. Plant your feet on the mat, knees still bent. If you have a block nearby, if you want to move into a restorative bridge for a minute or two, you could do that. Or you can move into a flowing bridge. Arms coming up overhead, hips lifting up. And then arms coming down, hips moving down, flowing that way. Get a little bit of a back bend in here. Can't tell if anybody's on a block, but if you're on a block, stay where you are. If you're flowing, the next time your hands come to your sides, stay, keep your hips down. And everybody just Take a breath. And then another. And bring to mind that intention that you formulated in the beginning. Maybe notice how it's already begun to sprout and grow in your mind and your heart. Bring your feet up toward the sky. Bend your knees, reach in for your insteps. Come into happy baby pose, bringing your knees towards your armpits. Maybe rock from side to side. And then slowly releasing, bringing everything down to the mat, letting your legs extend, your heels toward the corners of the mat, your feet splay out, your arms to your sides, palms up. Even here in Shavasana, your shoulder blades kind of energetically moving toward each other, your heart shining. As you move into Shavasana, begin to visualize a beautiful white light moving through your body from the crown of your head. So Linda, everything is down. You're in Shavasana, unless you don't want to be. You can stay up there if you want. I just wanted to make sure you heard me. So imagine a beautiful white light moving through the crown of your head, flowing through every cell of your body, bringing with it the energy of grace, clearing out any old vibrations, anything that connects you to past experience that takes you out of this moment, that takes you out of the energy of grace and love. Feel all of that beginning to slowly move down and out. And this beautiful white energy filling every cell of your body with the energy of grace, pure grace. Feel all of your assumptions, all of that energy shift to assumptions of love and compassion and goodness and health. And allow this energy to plant itself, to take root, and to begin to grow in your heart and your mind so that you can walk this earth in the following days, weeks, years, lifetime, flowing that energy of grace and compassion, being love, feeling love. No more self-inflicted nonsense, just pure grace. Allowing yourself to sink deeply into Shavasana. the fire that awakens you. I'm drawn to the light in others. It is how I know I'm not alone. To be a seeker of the light is to be connected to the very truth itself. The way out of darkness is when we can look across the table and find our face in another's. When we let our stories exist, we invite others to see themselves more clearly in a space where pain, struggle, stunning resilience, and belonging are not unique to just one person. They live in each of us, proving that we are not on our own. I heal and you heal, and when we heal, the world heals with us. An open heart is the key that unlocks hope's reach. The sun is here within you. Now open your eyes. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggling those fingers and those toes, bringing life into your body. Knees into your chest, rubbing those fingers and those soles together, palms and those soles, connecting to your inner amazing light. And as you come to stillness, rock a few times up and down on your spine. And then bring yourself up to a seat. We'll meet palms together, eyes closed. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in sealing our practice together with a long Sat Nam. Inhale deeply. Sat Nam. Sliding your thumbs to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own amazing goodness. Be loved, believe, be true to you. Sat Nam, everybody.